Hey
Hello,
everybody!
explorers.
Welcome explorers!
Welcome to the comfy chair at the House of Dingy Explorers.
Wow, that was original.
Yes, I thought in my mind it was going to come out a whole lot better, but unfortunately it didn't come out. So, hope you guys enjoy this show that we have coming up. There we go. We have it. What's going again? So, this past week, we've seen the weather start to change a little bit. It's gotten a little bit cooler.
Crazy still Rich
warm
Guys. To me.
Yeah.
Hey, Crazy Rich Guys.
Welcome. Boom, we already got 6 people on here. Awesome.
Bam.
Thank you. More sunshine, please. More
Welcome,
sunshine,
everybody.
please.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes. So,
People.
it's finally, we live in the Central Valley of California. It's finally started to cool down a little bit. It was up in the hundreds. Today, I think it was supposed to get to the low 90s. And hello, everyone. So it's finally getting cool. The cool thing about the West Coast is our highs to lows is huge. So even though we were, say, 92 degrees, our lows last night were in the upper 50s. So when you compare that to the East Coast, you're seeing a big difference. The East Coast, you might have a change of 17 degrees.
Hey, Robert.
It's pretty big difference over here. So yeah, it's always cool to, this time of year. It can get into the hundreds very easily. It can do it sometimes even in October, but those are pretty rare. I think we're done with the heat wave for now. But the cool thing is this past weekend was what? I know it's pretty, we want to forget about it, but it was opening week in the NFL.
Oh.
How did your teams go? So this is...
Yeah, Bills kind of sucked.
We lost 47-3.
Yeah, we didn't lose. It was a slaughter.
Yeah, it was
You
pretty
made stuff
bad.
like fly all over the place.
But there's still 15 games more to come. So, yeah, a little bit exciting, but... how did your team go? Is there football teams out there? Are you diehard fans like we are? I bleed Buffalo Bills. I bleed. So I was really bleeding. Good thing I was at work, so I didn't have to go through the pain as much.
Hey, Ann Jordan.
So, Greg,
hey, Ed.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Well,
as I try to log into
I first want to say that we hope everybody is safe back east with the hurricane coming up. It's supposed to make landfall on Friday, I think they said, or Saturday. So if anyone's affected, we just hope that everybody is safe and gets out of the way of harm if they can. So we do appreciate everybody watching us, but we certainly want everybody to be safe too. So
let's see if I put this on blast like you normally do.
Paul said Packers sucked.
Packers came back and won though. So that's the cool thing about it. All right, we're trying to get better.
I have no idea what you're trying to do.
So I'm trying to see the comments, and you know what? I'm not seeing. Maybe it's because I'm logged into this, so I might have to scrap this and go a different way. But
he doesn't know what he's doing. Sorry, guys.
I don't, which is part of the fun. This is part of the fun. Not as much as the Lions. And they lost to the Jets too, Jim, so that was even more frustrating. So our show tonight, guys, if you haven't joined, I see we already have 6 likes, so thank you guys. If you are new to our channel,
like, share, subscribe, anybody.
If you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing to us. We are a growing channel. We are coming up to our year anniversary. October 9th was the first video that we released. So
go ahead.
It so happens that we're gonna have we're gonna do a Halloween show, and I think we're gonna do it on the 10th. So we're gonna be dressed up in Halloween outfits.
It'll be like a anniversary / Halloween special type of
so
thing.
A little bit fun. So normally what we do is we do a little bit of small talk, and then we talk about news, not always the most recent news, but news that we think is fun and interesting. And then we start going into our channel stuff, so our topic of the day. So next week we are going to be going back to our cruise-related topic. So we're going to cover that in a little bit of what that's going to be. So Greg, let's see who's here. Welcome everyone. Give a shout out to everyone who's in the chat right now.
We have Crazy Rich Guy Travels.
Crazy Rich Guy.
Go Twins. We have More Sunshine Please,
More
Paul
Sunshine.
Wilgus, Active, and Shericus.
Sherry Seacruz.
Oh, Sherry
Remember how she
Seacruz.
pronounced it?
Well, I'm starting to get used to looking at stuff at my job where it just runs into each other, so sorry about that. Robert Brandt, I think I said Paul, yep, and Ed Tolson Jr. and Jordan. And I think I did say, yep, More Sunshine Please, and we are wearing the More Sunshine Please official shirt for you, so they're very nice. So welcome everybody.
A little bit more about that. That was supposed to be a surprise, but
well, surprise. They can only see the shirt right here, so
I know I'm like drawn to the yellow. All right, I'm just trying to. I'm going to try to work this. I'm going to figure this out as we go along. But this is what part of live entertainment is you never know what's going to happen. So
thank you, Deb. He says we rock. We try.
we aren't perfect. We don't tend to be perfect, and that's part of the fun of just being us.
Well, I have some news if I can find it. So anyone that's been to Walt Disney World, the Disney's Design a Tea at Disney Springs has closed its doors. And I only mention this because I passed by it on Facebook a couple days ago. We've actually made a couple t-shirts. We did a bigger one, a Scrooge one. So Disney doesn't know what they're going to put in there yet. But they did mention you can get some other Disney teas at the World of Disney store. Unfortunately, you can't make them yourself, I guess. But
did you guys ever go there? Especially, I know some of the Orlando group.
Oh gosh!
Got my first one.
Wow.
I'm in.
And then one other thing that we've actually were able to experience when we were at Walt Disney World this last time in March is that the minivans are changing their pricing structure. They're actually not going to be a flat rate of $25 per trip. It's going to be more like a Disney taxi in a way. It's going to be billed by mileage, and they're also going to extend how far out they go, and basically anywhere on Disney property or $150 to the Orlando International Airport, so $150 to the airport. So they don't know when those are going to change, but they will be changing soon. So just some news.
Yeah, and we went on. That was one of the videos that we filmed. It was kind of odd. I didn't know if I should be filming the person or not, so I kind of filmed away from it. But when we went. One of the reasons why they started doing the minivan is. On Walt Disney property, if you book a breakfast at a different resort, if you've never been to Walt Disney World, it's 43 square miles. It is huge. One resort is not right next to the other one, so you do have to travel to get to it. Disney, the Magic Kingdom, and those resorts around it are at the back of the property, so you have to travel quite a bit to get to it. Well, if you go early like we did to the opening at the Kona Cafe, there was no transportation to get there. There was no buses. There was a bus shuttle, but they said they went to different resorts. And if they did, there was no guarantee they would get there at that certain time. So we decided to take advantage, and we wanted to go on to the minivan because it's one of the things that you have to try. So it was $25 anywhere within the property. I don't know if Greg said that. If he did, I'm sorry. But it was fun.
I did, but it's okay.
Very informative. We had a good time doing it, and would I do it again for $25? Maybe, if need be. We could have used Lyft.
But it won't be $25 by the time we go back.
Yeah. It's through Lyft, and they give an option if you didn't want to spend that much money and experience the travel with a cast member. You could just do a normal Lyft with someone else, and it was quite a bit cheaper.
So Active said, "Oh my gosh, I can't remember how to like on my phone." Thank you for wanting to do that. All you do, from what I see, is where it says live chat across the bar. There's an X, and you can hit that, and then there's the like button, and then just hit the little right arrow at the top of your screen underneath our video, and then you can hit live chat and go back to the chat. So thank you everybody for who is liking us and who wants to like us.
And I'm
We
looking
appreciate it.
at who's in our chat, and there's so many from our cruising community and our friend channel, Traveling with Bruce. So thank you guys for showing up. We do have some new moderators that are from the cruising site. So we have Paul Wilgus. We also have, who else do I have that's on there?
Thank you. More sunshine.
I added a couple of other ones that are on there. Ann Jordan is from the TWB family, and so a great chance to do that. Bombs Rocks. Hey, you said on the last show, RobFuz, you said that you can't wait to cruise with us. Are you on the group cruise with the Bliss? So I'm curious to see that. I'm waiting for her.
Oh yeah, RobFuz just came on. Thank you.
Yes.
Hey Rob.
So, all right. So a couple of things.
And Bombs Rocks. Thank you.
Yeah, because remember she said, "Look forward to seeing you on the cruise." So, it didn't hit on me because I was in the moment, but I started thinking, wait a minute, is she on the Bliss with us, or he on the Bliss? I'm not sure. So, welcome. So let us know if you are.
Bombs Rocks
Disney
says
in
no
December.
Disney in
Oh,
December.
you're on the fantasy with us. Awesome, awesome. So, this is our notes on Halloween. I like to be organized, but since we're doing,
We're only gonna skim over a
yeah,
little
since
bit.
we're doing the Halloween show later, there it goes. No, just kidding.
No, they are in full swing right now.
They are.
So Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World started before Disneyland, and then we just started ours in the middle of September.
Yeah, it's September 7th.
And they're actually already almost sold out. Even Halloween night is sold out. They only have like maybe a Tuesday and a Wednesday and maybe a Thursday in there somewhere that was left, and maybe by now they're all gone. Last I saw it was last night, so I periodically get updates.
Welcome, Mike. Thanks for showing. Mike,
Hey,
you guys,
Mike, thank
if you
you.
see, he's the one in our videos. He's our best friend, him and David. They are in our videos, so he's visiting us right now. So thank you, Mike, for showing. Some of the fun things, you guys, because we don't want to give too much away what's going on, but we also wanted to do this show a little bit earlier instead of doing it like a week before there, just in case you guys want to show up at the Halloween event in Disneyland. But one of the cool things, because we like to drink, some of the cool things they have, holiday snacks, we're going to go over that. So some of the holiday snacks they have at Disneyland is they have, does this guy sound good to you? They have pumpkin spice churros with cream cheese frosting. No, I think that sounds pretty good. Hi, Diana. Thank you for coming.
I will have a whole list later on, but there's some here.
In addition to that, they have Cruella de Vil brownies. So Cruella de Vil is a little spooky to me. So Robert Brandt, we got you coming up.
Bad road rage.
At the Hollywood
You've seen that
Lounge,
movie.
the Hollywood Lounge, which you guys, I believe it's at the Carthay,
Robert, he's all drink.
the Carthay Theater Circle. It's a restaurant that's in Disney California
Cafe,
Adventures, and it's amazing.
Yeah, we've eaten there I think once
Yeah, it's
for my birthday, and the drinks alone are expensive, but they're really good.
the quality of this food is, you can't even
Awesome.
believe. We were in our shirts and shorts, and we were like, we felt so like it wasn't even, we couldn't believe it. But the food was amazing. So I believe downstairs is a Hollywood Lounge, because that could be the only place that I could think that they would have it. It's going to be.
We woke Robert with the word drink.
We have the Halloween themed drinks. I'm sure there's more, but they have the Great Pumpkin
No drink
Imperial
tonight.
Ale,
Just water.
and so Great Pumpkin Imperial Ale, and then the Supernatural Spirit Cocktail, Cotton Candy Lemonade with vodka.
Hey Bob and Ashley, thank you for stopping in and saying
Yes,
hi.
thanks guys. So it's so cool to see a mixture of and
Oh,
Kyle's.
they have bad signal. They said.
Aren't you still in?
Hey Kyle.
Aren't you still on your bachelor party run, Kyle? Or are you back home? Oops, as I mess this all up. So yeah, those are just a couple of things that we're going to talk about a little bit later on our Halloween show. We'll get a little bit more into that, but we do have some other things that we wanted to cover. Next is, Greg, what do you want to talk about? Oh, you already talked about the minivan, so we got that. Coming up on next week's show, you guys, we have, it's our cruise one, Anchors Away. So it's going to be, if you've never done a cruise video before or a Disney one, because that's where our expertise is. It's going to be first time on a Disney cruise, our Disney experience. So that's one for you too.
Kyle did say no, that was Friday, Monday, 3 vlogs up already.
I saw that, yes. So if you've ever been on a Disney cruise, we're going to share with you what we've learned, what could possibly help you to give you a little bit better idea. That's going to be next week on our Anchors Away show on it, as again, we like to rotate on that. We also have one thing we just released this week is on the 5th, Bugs Land closed. Yep. And we did a video, and yours truly, or this truly, Gregory, was a chance he had a chance to be in charge of running a video.
Yeah, I tried, so hopefully everybody likes it. It is out now to watch, so...
We'll put it on the link. It'll be like right here, if I can point to it, in the middle of us, at the very end of this live feed. But what was your experience with that, Greg? Thoughts on the closure of it and what they have to come?
Well, every time we go, we just kind of walk by it, but this time, knowing that it's going to be gone, or it is gone now, but at the time, it was just, you're just thinking this is the last time we're going to be here, so it was kind of, sad in a way, knowing that it's really just the only kids designated area in California Adventures, but, it is an older movie. I think 2002 it came out, and it was something that they had to fill in space, to give little kids something to do, with their parents, because there wasn't much there for kids. So I think it ran its course. I kind of wish they could have kept It's Tough to Be a Bug. That was pretty cool, but we can see that in Walt Disney World, so that'll make it even more special. But it was pretty cool.
The more I don't like Disney to transplant one ride on the East Coast and on the West Coast. I like that separation of you wanting to go to a park and explore something new rather than seeing new rides. So I'm glad in Disneyland they've rethemed some of the rides. So to me, that's really cool. And
they are
Disney wouldn't have changed it if the ridership was still there, and it basically was gone.
Well, they are retheming the Flix Flyers, I think it was called. They're gonna fly it to Italy, I think, and revamp it and everything, and then fly it all the way back. Why they're flying it all the way out there, I have no idea, but it's their money, so hopefully it comes out to be looking nice. We've seen pictures of it. It's supposed to be the new Inside Out ride, and it looks pretty cool.
We've only watched half that movie still.
Yeah, we'll just have to start it over, but it looks pretty cool, so looking forward to that coming back in a different form.
So welcome, Molly Dolly. Thank you for showing up on here. And
I like that name, Molly Dolly. That's pretty cool.
To answer your questions, you guys, we are on a water kick here. I think your screen's something's shining. Oh, it might be the reflection from the sun.
Yeah.
Greg's like holy and he's like glowing.
Yeah, no.
We are trying to get into Speedo shape. So
there you go with the Speedos.
We won't do the cruise countdown, but we're under 90 days, so we're trying to get into our Speedo shape just in time for the cruise. So we're working hard at that. We started the gym yesterday. We're working so hard, but we'll see.
Actually, I have a gym at my job, so I actually was on a treadmill and doing stuff today during my lunch, so I don't know what your excuse is.
I was running all over the place at work. I don't need that.
See, there's your cardio.
So one of the things, guys, yesterday was 9/11. So I know, Greg, you can see his face. We were debating if we were going to talk about this, but I think it's a really good time just to reflect. And we're not going to say a whole lot about it.
Don't say it in my face. It's not that I'm being disrespectful or anything. It's just, I think that everybody does it in their own way, and I put some things up in my Facebook, and I just kind of wanted to show to be more happy and everything, but it's fine if we take a moment. We did it at my job too today, so I just saw so much on Facebook yesterday. It was a little too much for me anyway.
Yeah, to see the actual footage, but
you won't ever forget. So
yesterday was a very emotional day for me. If you guys haven't seen it already, RobFuz had a video, and it wasn't on 9/11, but on January 29th, 2000, he won on a plane trip, like a tour that flew over New York, Manhattan, by the Statue of Liberty, the Twin Towers. So it really just it was really emotional for me to know what's there and now no longer is there anymore. So I be honest, I broke down even at work while I was working. I started like getting tears in my eyes just thinking about what happened for the event. So I don't ever want to forget. I always want to remember what happened, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. But if you haven't seen it already, guys, it's just kind of interesting to see what it looked like when the Twin Towers are there. So the biggest thing, guys, is you never know what's going to happen. Love who's around you, and enjoy life every day that it comes. So enough of the sadness, because I don't want to get emotional again. But check out RobFuz video. I'm going to put the link down in below. But it's really cool. There's not even talking in it. It's just music. Maybe it's a choice of music he used, but to me, the video was spot on. So it was really cool to see that.
Thank you for sharing that, Rob.
Yes. So another thing, guys, is we are a new channel. We are, like I said, we're about a year old. And we've gone through struggles. I think a lot of channels have. Some channels are blessed of growing instantly and getting, just getting it. But when we started, we really never knew if we were going to be able to even do YouTube as long as we've been doing. We had no clue how to upload a video. That was all foreign to us. So there's a lot of stuff new channels have to overcome into becoming a better, overcome obstacles. I think I just said that, but it's good to have some other channels that are going through the same things that you can feel that you can say anything to them, like, okay, this isn't working, what can we do? Something that you can't really say on air. We try to be as transparent as we can, but there's so much that you want to share. But we decided, as there's a lot of partner channels out there, we decided we wanted to have a partner channel. Now we are looking at growing, future partner channels, but we've been interacting with this one channel for a long time, and they're in the same situations we are, and we all want to do the same thing. We want to grow our channels. We want to make better product. I think that's part of the reasons why we're going live, is to improve us in front of the camera, because it's all development, and we're very aware that what we need to improve on, and we want to do it. So we have a partner channel, brand new partner channel that we're going to announce. And can you guys guess who that channel might be? Let me see. I think it's More Sunshine, Please. So if you guys haven't already, please check them out. What we're going to be doing with this, we talked about doing future collaborations, what's going to work out best for us. Our idea is to help both our channels grow, give honest feedback, have fun, not feeling like you're alone on this island with so many channels. Give that extra support that we might need when times are, you not feel like, okay, what am I doing as a channel? So you guys, welcome More Sunshine, Please. We are great to be able to, and happy to be able to be working for them. It is Jim. Our goal is to go live with each other and have conversations with like a split screen, and you're laughing.
Just the comments from the twins and Robert. Oh, by the way, Robert and Paul, really, this isn't water. This is straight up vodka. Yeah, I like vodka. It's my favorite. So I drank the water and filled it with vodka. I didn't. I'd probably be on the floor right now if I did that.
So welcome, guys. Welcome to our partner channel, which is More Sunshine, Please. They have a great family, unique video, so please go check him out and support him just as much as you guys have done us. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the support, everybody.
Yes, thank you. So we are, as I've got so much here that is all over the place.
And if anybody wants to either order More Sunshine Please shirts, or I know that we wear our shirts sometimes, so if we're able to and you guys want to order one of our shirts, we can certainly try to do that. Just let us know.
We're gonna try
in the comments.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get that more organized. You can order
That's a good idea,
the More Sunshine Please shirts at Amazon. That's where we actually ordered them.
Oh wow,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, so we're gonna look at different options. We have a Patreon page, but we haven't done that yet. We're still in the process of. We want to make the page good. We just don't want to have little content on it. So we're trying to make sure we have that set up. We're going to set up a PayPal. So it's all to help our channel grow and be able to do things. The biggest thing that we want to do is improve our technology. That's what we want to do. And we're looking at different things in terms of how we do it. Because you guys, you know what? When I edit, this is what I edit on. I edit on my iPad. We film on an iPhone X, and we edit on the iPad. So there's very limit in terms of what we can do. I think the quality of what we do is good. I'm happy with that, but there's a lot more technology that I wish we could do that we can't. So all this stuff is going to be helping us to advance to that next level and do something that we really are proud of what we're doing. But not that we're not proud of what we're doing already.
Awesome. Sherry C. Cruz just subscribed to More Sunshine Please.
Yay.
Thank you. That helps. That'll help it.
So our show for tonight. Gregory, are you excited about our show tonight?
I am. Can't you tell?
Thank God I didn't have any food to water.
I didn't. You put me on a spot. I didn't know what to think. I'm like, I am.
So,
I mean, we've been doing the show for almost a half hour, but woo, I'm excited.
I've been to Disneyland at least 150 times, between 150 to 200 times. It is our home park. Greg, you've been to Disneyland about, at a guess, how many times?
To Disneyland?
Yes.
Probably
More than 50?
more than, huh?
More than 50, right?
No, probably
Okay, I'm just showing my age then.
more than maybe 20. I wouldn't say 50. That's a lot. Probably at least more than 20.
I'd say you're probably closer to 40, then you don't realize it. But then for Walt
Don't
Disney
talk about my
World,
age like that. I'm not even close to 40. What are you talking about?
for Disney World, I just went to my 10th time, and you just went for your 5th time. So we have a lot of experience in both parks. Definitely we have experience in the Disneyland park, more to it than that. But what we want to do is we're going to compare Walt Disney World Resort to Disneyland Resort to Walt Disney World Resort. So we're going to compare the same rides. So if it's Pirates of the Caribbean in one resort, we're going to compare it to the other because there's so many rides at each one, you can't compare those. So we're going to go ahead and compare them. We're going to do a tally. This is the official tally. And to see, because we actually don't even know what each other is going to say. So we're going to say which one do we think is better of the rides, Disneyland or Walt Disney World. In my mind, I think I know what rides I like better. So we'll kind of see how that goes on it. So we looked at a few things. What park the ride is in. We looked at the theming of it, the actual overall ride, and maybe not so much the pros and cons. Here I go, number 2. That RobFuz, that's for you.
What? Go to the bathroom if you need to go number 2. Here I go, number 2.
There is a running
Wow.
joke, you guys. I don't know what it is, but when
And
I
Robert's
talk,
talking about the twins, and you're going to go full on right here.
whenever I talk, I guess I get excited and I start burping or getting air bubbles. I don't know what you want to call it. But that's my number 2. So RobFuz and kind of jokes, they call it the DG.
Thank you, Ann.
But not so much maybe pros and cons, but maybe what we like better and less in another one.
Molly Dolly asks if you have never been to either. For a first timer, which park is better? That's a very hard question because it depends what you want to do. I personally think Disneyland
If you go to any
is
park,
better in certain ways. It's
Yes.
the original. So
you can't compare. If you go to Walt Disney World, I think in most cases you're going to be let down going to Disneyland Resort. And the whole reason is because
wow.
Disneyland Resort is only 2 parks. The whole city of Anaheim is built up around the 2 parks. There is no breathing room. Walt Disney, when he built Florida, he wanted to build enough land
You
and
don't
have
want
enough
history
land
to repeat
to
itself.
repeat it. So that alone, because of that experience, the parks were built 16 years separate from each other. they learned a lot from when they built Disneyland, that if you go to Walt Disney World first, I think you're going to be let down just from the size and amount of things you can do. So I think it would be good to go to Disneyland first, and then when you go to Disney World, you're like, whoa, I can't believe it. So I'm actually glad we went to Disneyland first on it. But I hear that a lot of people that go to Walt Disney World, they're kind of let down.
Hey, welcome back,
by it.
Kyle.
Yeah, so that would be what I would say. So we had 4 rides. So there's actually 21 rides or attractions that that are the same name or something very similar to it. There are 4 of them that we felt were so close that they're basically toss-ups, but there are some differences between them. So one would be the trains. Now the trains are the locomotives that go around the park. I love trains. When we go there,
Both love trains.
have to go.
Yeah.
You have to go around the park on a train, even if it's just once. So to me, I can't. I would say no. There's not one better, but there is a difference on it in Disneyland because they have the Primeval World, and that's where a diorama where you go through the Grand Canyon, and then you go back in time through the time of the dinosaurs. So that's when you go from Tomorrowland and you come into Main Street Station. That's different. That is unique to Disneyland.
So
And
Kyle says, see, I disagree. I think it's better to go to Walt Disney World first, so that when you go to Disneyland, you realize how lucky we are to have Walt Disney World. Disneyland is classic. You can't appreciate it without seeing Walt Disney World. I was the opposite because I didn't go to Walt Disney World until way after I went to Disneyland. But I still like Disneyland. I mean, I like Walt Disney World too. It has a different feeling. I like Walt Disney World's Tomorrowland, I think, better than Disneyland's. It's just a different feeling for me. So, and I can't quite describe the feeling, but it's just different. But Disneyland for me, it is the original. So, I'm always gonna lean more towards that. But I also like Walt Disney World. So, I'm like even on both, I guess. I can't really like one more than the other.
welcome Dawn from Just Out and About. She's also one of our moderators, guys. So they do a lot of park videos that we don't get a chance to see, so like Carowinds. So it's really cool. Check out their site if you haven't already. My park personally favorite is Disneyland. That's my favorite park. That's a park that Walt Disney created. He walked through it.
Hey, welcome Just Out and About.
We always pay homage to him when we go in. There is over the fire station. They always leave a lamp on because whenever he was in a park, they would have the lamp on in the window, so cast members know that he was there. Just that knowing that he helped create that park, to me, that park will always be my favorite. And I really like Disney California Adventures. So
Yeah.
as a resort, and it's so close, we can get there depending on traffic 4.5, 5 hours.
I don't
so
like
it's not bad.
California Adventures as much as Disneyland, but I do like it, but just not as much as the original. And also, we're the only ones that do the Night Before Christmas themed.
Don't say that yet. That's going to be part of our...
Well, too late. Already, cat's out of the bag. I mean, they already know, but it's Halloween time, so we're the only ones that do Night Before Christmas themed Haunted Mansion, starting in September, and it runs all the way to January because it counts for Halloween and for Christmas, which always makes me think, is the Night Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
It's both. That's why
Or
they have it up
both.
so long. The ride's on
Something to
so long.
ponder on.
Kyle, Epcot's my favorite too in Walt Disney World. I love that park. Disneyland's my favorite park overall, though, of any of the parks. There's also the Mad Tea Party, which we thought were similar. One's covered and one's not covered. Although for the Halloween event, I saw videos of it, and they had like all these like strobe lights that were going on that I thought was pretty fun at the Magic Kingdom. The paddle wheelers that go around the Rivers of America. I think it's Rivers of America.
That's right, Kyle. Thanksgiving movie.
In Magic Kingdom. But in California, the paddle wheel is Mark Twain. Mark Twain.
Aye.
And then in Florida, Magic Kingdom, it's Liberty Bell. And so they're basically the same experience. And then in the Buzz rides in Disneyland, it's called Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, which is in Tomorrowland at Disneyland. In the Magic Kingdom, also in Tomorrowland, it's called Buzz Lightyear Space Rangers. So Space Rangers and Astro Blasters. they're basically the same ride. There was no comparisons. So that leaves us with 17 more rides to look at. So the first thing is...
Sorry, I just thought of something. I thought you said something for a moment when you said Astro Blasters. I'm just going to leave it alone.
Molly, Christmas should be set up in Disneyland.
Right after Halloween, really.
Yeah.
They do it the night right after, usually.
Pretty close to it, yeah. They have, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Dios de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. In different regions of Mexico, depending where you're from, they celebrate it from October 31st to November 2nd.
They're probably do
that, so they're going to do that, but
they'll probably do like a Coco theme type thing for that, at least, like a celebration type thing.
They have Halloween comes down November or October 31st, so it should go straight into Florida Fanatics. Hey guys, how are you? So they will go probably straight into the Christmas. If not by the 7th, they should be completely set up, because I thought it was around the 7th is when they get set up for Christmas. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to compare, ride for ride, is the castles. So, Sleeping Beauty Castle, Disneyland, is 77 feet tall. So, that's pretty good size, 77 feet.
It's pretty good.
Unique, it's pretty good. It's pretty unique because it has a walkthrough in it. The Sleeping Beauty diorama, when you actually go through on one end, you go over the walkway, and there's a bunch of little images that are like kind of like a dark ride, but they're like just like puppets and that in there. So that was cool. And then in Florida, at the Magic Kingdom, it's Cinderella's castle. And believe it or not, that castle is 189 feet tall. This life of ours, hey guys, welcome. So that one does not have a walkthrough, but it does have a suite where people can stay in. And it has a restaurant, which I believe it's Cinderella's table. So, Greg, what do you feel is better? Sleeping Beauty at Disneyland, or, and then when you guys play along with us, what do you guys think? Or the Cinderella's Castle at Magic Kingdom?
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty, why?
Because you can walk through it, and it's an attraction in itself. You have the different scenes from Sleeping Beauty, or you walk up the stairs, go through the castle, come back down. So you're basically watching the whole movie. At Walt Disney World, you said that there's a restaurant, which I've never heard of a restaurant in there. You also have the room that some people can stay in, but then you have to walk around to get to the castle. You can't just go right through like Disneyland.
Yeah, that's...
Go ahead.
So yeah, that's one thing I like about Disneyland better. You walk into the tunnel, whereas Disney and Magic Kingdom, you can't go straight through it. You have to go around because they have the stage that's there. I like Cinderella Castle better, which might be surprising, but the reason I like it is one of the most memorable images you can witness is getting on the ferry boat, crossing the Seven Seas Lagoon, and seeing the castle coming up to you. And it's huge. It's looming up over all of the skyline. And the closer you get to it, the bigger that it gets. You walk down Main Street, here is a tower, which is you're coming to. That to me is the most impressive feeling. And I think of all the other stuff, to me, that's a bigger image. Disneyland, you can't even see the castle. Even when you go into it, if you go on the top of the train station and you look down, sometimes it's even hard because the trees have grown up so much, it's blocking it. So it's kind of a lower shot. So for me, I like the, oops, I messed up.
So
Walt Disney World.
More sunshine, please. Back to what we were talking about with Halloween and Christmas. I've seen this video before on Facebook. If it's the same one, there's a YouTube video by Disney Parks that show their overnight transformation of Magic Kingdom from Halloween to Christmas on November 1st last year. And I think it's what I've seen. It might have been Disneyland also. They might do both, but I have seen something like that before, which is really cool.
Crazy Rich, the twins. They said our dad is too cheap to take us to Anaheim. They've only been to Disneyland. Thanks, Eric, for saying that they were set up on Christmas on November 1st last year.
And just so you know, Kai and Juno, there is nothing wrong with a Little Mermaid movie. When I was little, I went and saw it in the theater, and I couldn't get enough of it when it was on video. So it is one of my favorites. I'm not ashamed to say it. So it's pretty cool, and I think they're going to make it into a live action movie at some point, which would be pretty cool too.
All right, ride number 2, Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. So they're both in the same lands. They're in Adventureland, and in Disneyland, it's in Disneyland, and it's in Florida. It's in the Magic Kingdom. So, Greg, which one do you like better, the Disneyland version or the Magic Kingdom version?
Of what?
The Enchanted Tiki Room.
Squirrel. Let me see. Well, the one in Walt Disney, huh?
Sherry Siku said her movies were Little Mermaid and then Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, cool. The Walt Disney World version is bigger and more elaborate. The one in Disneyland is not as elaborate, but they do have the Dole Whip hut right outside. So you cannot go to see that show without getting a Dole Whip. So I would say Disneyland.
Welcome, Cargo. Thank you for joining us. I would say Disneyland too, and the reason is not besides the Dole Whip, but it's longer. And I didn't really notice it. Because there was a fire in the Magic Kingdom, but they did change that version to have Zazu, I think is what it was, or Zago, which were they both in it? They changed it for a period, and then they went back to the original, but it's not as long as what you experience in Disneyland. And if anything, you get a good little nap in the Disneyland version, a little bit longer. So we both say Disneyland? Yep. Okay, cool. Ride number 3. So guys who are just joining us, what we're doing is we're comparing the rides that are the same attractions in Walt Disney World to Disneyland. We came up with 21 that were the same. 4 of them were basically the same. So we're going through and talking about 17 attractions and then seeing who we think. And you guys join us along if you guys had a chance to experience both parks. Let us know which other rides you think is better. So ride number 3 is Peter Pan. Peter Pan is in California, is in Disneyland, and it's at the Magic Kingdom in Florida. So Gregory, what do you feel is the better attraction?
Hold on, you always get me when I'm trying to make a comment. What was your question? I'm sorry.
Peter Pan, which one's better?
Well, the one in Walt Disney World is more elaborate, but they're the same ride, I think, in a way. I'd probably say Walt Disney World on this one. The one at Disneyland is always crowded. It takes like 45 minutes, if not more, to get on it. Unless you try to get on it right after the fireworks show, which you have to wait for them to even open up Fantasyland after the fireworks show. But I would say probably Walt Disney World, just because it's more elaborate.
I would
It's
too.
not as cramped.
It's more interactive. Disney World has been making their queues a lot. Is it queues over here or is it lines?
It's the same thing.
Some questions I get. I was born in England, and some words still stump me in terms of what.
Kyle
how
go
to
to
say it.
Disneyland because it's so classic.
I would say myself would be Magic Kingdom just because of the more
Thank you, Kyle. Have a good night.
Thanks, Kyle. Okay, ride number 4 is the cars, like speedway cars. So in Disneyland, it's in Tomorrowland. It used to be, it was so popular, they used to have them in 2. They used to have one racetrack in Tomorrowland and one in Fantasyland. They then changed it just to one. But it's called the Autopia in California, and it's based on the Chevron vehicles. So the Chevron characters that they used to see with the eyes and all that, it's based on that. In Magic Kingdom, it's the Tomorrowland Speedway. And one of the images I always think of that is at the start of it, where there's just like all these different lines all the way across that actually feels like you're in a speedway.
Robert was asking where in England.
I was born in Ruislip, which is a town northwest of London. My mom was born in Wimbledon, so that's pretty much where she was. We lived at the beginning, but then towards the end we moved up to the east coast, Ipswich, a town called Ipswich, And then we moved on to the American base, which was RAF Bentwaters, and RAF Woodbridge is actually where we stayed at. So I stayed there for 10 years. Lost my accent as soon as I went on to the American base, and then
Sometimes certain things you say are pretty funny though.
words, how I pronounce it, and some of the actual words, it throws me off in terms of like Q. I don't think that's an American word.
No, that's not the word.
World. I have to concentrate to say world because I always say
oh, the wood.
Load.
That's funny.
So, Autopia or Tomorrowland Speedway? Tomorrowland Speedway.
You were gonna say Speedos, weren't you? I think Disneyland's. I don't know if I've been on the one at Walt Disney World. I think it's the same course basically. Walt Disney World's probably is bigger, but I don't remember going on that one, so I'd say Disneyland for now.
I would say Disneyland too. I like it just because
More sunshine. Never noticed your accent.
I don't really have one anymore. Just certain words I say a little bit weird.
Was there a horror movie that took place in Ipswich? Paul asked.
It wasn't a horror movie, as far as I know, but there was the famous UFO incident, which is like the Roswell of England. It's the Rendlesham Forest incident, and that took place in the woods between RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge. So, interesting fact. That actually, saying that happened in 1978. My dad was in military police. As we get onto the Halloween stuff, there was a UFO sighting that happened, and they called my dad to say what to do, but really won't go into it. But yeah, and
We should
then
do a whole UFO show.
I think we might lose viewers on that.
No,
But yeah,
that'd
it's
be
a little bit
pretty
interesting.
fun. Then we'll have drinks and we'll get all crazy and funny.
Yeah, 3 years later it came out. Actually, I think it was probably 2 years later. It came out where a big old thing where the big incident
The
happened.
Witches of Eastwick.
Ipswich, the witches
No,
of
he said
Ipswich.
Eastwick though.
Yeah, got it. So yeah, Autopia. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're at even. Okay, so next ride is Dumbo. Dumbo the Flying Elephant. Which one? Dumbo is in Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom in Florida and in Disneyland. They're both in the Fantasyland.
There's two at Walt Disney World, so it's more elaborate. I would say Walt Disney World.
Yeah, and they
I
also
think it
have
looks nicer too.
they have
And
that tent in the
the
middle
whole
too.
setup.
The theming of it, I think, is what makes the ride.
Yeah, we don't like clowns, but it's still a fun ride.
All right, so we both say Walt Disney World. Okay.
I can handle some clowns, but most
I don't. All right, number
you don't like
6.
the ones with the chainsaws at the Halloween stuff.
Number 6. We've already been on for 47 minutes, so we have to speed it
So
up a
who's
little bit.
counting? You guys are having fun, right? So that's what all.
Well,
that's all that matters.
there's still 11 people here, so that's a good sign. The many adventures of Weenie the
Weenie the Pooh. Well, you're gonna poke your eye with that pen.
Winnie, you say the right. I've lost it.
Winnie the Pooh
Yes, they're in Disneyland.
and Tigger too.
In Disneyland, it's in
What the?
Critter Country.
You know what, guys? And he hasn't even had a drink yet. I think I need to make him a drink just to have him have a good excuse of why he's like this.
At Disneyland, the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh is in Critter Country, and in Florida, it is in Fantasyland. So, which one of the two do you like better on that? I get grounded, Paul.
Of Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
Probably the one we have, because it's more country-ish, out in the woodsy kind of area, where our country bears
So
used
because
to
of
be.
theming?
Yes, we used to have our country bears out there. Now we don't have country bears. We have to go to Walt Disney World to see any bears, so...
Yeah, and that corner of the park, it's like at the very kind of in the corner of it. It's kind of, you have to get there, and there's once you get there, you just basically turn around and go back. So I think where the rides are, it's kind of hard to judge. Of all the attractions of all the parks, Winnie the Pooh and Disneyland, and the parks around the world, Disneyland is the least popular. But I think that has to do more with the fact that it is such on an isolated island. You walk by Splash Mountain, and you go to the back, and you go into the ride. and then that's it. There's a shop there, there's a character meet and greet, and then you turn around and come back. In Disney World, it's right there in front of everything. It used to be the old Mr. Toad's Wild Adventure, and they replaced it with Winnie the Pooh ride. But it's in basically the middle of it between you go there.
That was a big Mr. Toad's ride
to Tomorrowland. Well, the building might not be the same size, but the one in Disney World is more interactive, and I would probably say, for me, the ride is basically the same. I'd say the one in Magic Kingdom. So you say France. You say Disneyland, and I say Walt Disney World. All right, number 7, Little Mermaid. So this is interesting. In California, the Little Mermaid's ride is called Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure, and it's at Disney's California Adventure. It took over. Is that Arjon's? Is that the Disney legend? Welcome, Arjon's. Really
hey, Arjon's. Thanks for coming in.
The Disney legend is in the house. Welcome. The Little Mermaid Ariel's Under the Sea took over for Golden Dreams. So it has a big little archway, and what they basically did is
big little archway.
Big
That's
archway.
Like an oxymoron, isn't it?
It was an oxymoron.
You need a drink.
They basically transformed the building and to fit the ride into that building. Well, it was actually bigger than that because they had to, but so that's, I think that always has, the building doesn't have an impact that it does in Florida, is in Fantasyland at the Magic Kingdom, and that ride is called Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. So in Florida, the Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure. So Greg, which of those two do you like better? I'm already marking mine down.
I'd probably say Walt Disney World, just because it's more elaborate and bigger, and I got a cool picture with King Triton and what?
Cargo.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it's pretty fun. The one at Disneyland is kind of more just basic. It's not too elaborate, although I do like that they kept the dome and everything, but I think Walt Disney World's a lot better.
I do too. It's more interactive. The ride is more interactive.
It's more darker too inside.
And I like the castle, the waterfall. That when you walk in there, I really like that effect of it. That's really cool. Those of you guys who have joining that missed the beginning of it, we announced that we also have a partnership channel, and it is More Sunshine Please. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check them out, please check them out. They are one of our dear channels that we love to watch, and we are so excited to be working with them. Ride number 7. This is a love-hate ride. I love it. Most people hate it. But it's a small world. So Greg, it's a small world, and Disneyland is in Fantasyland. At the Magic Kingdom, it's in Fantasyland. To me, this is a no-brainer in terms of which ride is better. But which
Disneyland, I would say. It's outside, it's not inside. They do a nice Christmas theme outside with it all lit up, and they have Christmas projections and stuff. I'm surprised they don't do anything for Halloween, but that might come up. Who knows? But it's pretty cool with ours outside.
So Disneyland was brought over from the 1964 World's Fair. It does have a bigger facade.
Cargo loves Small World.
When we went to Disneyland,
as a word.
It is very unimpressive, the outside of it. It doesn't make you feel like it just... And then even on the ride, when you look at it and you go through stuff, you start seeing stuff on the ceiling. It just, hands down, the Love Small World. Hands down, the one in Disneyland is a lot better. If you guys ever go there, it's a Small World holiday. Is it Jingle Bells that they play during the song? Was it go?
Yes.
Yeah, Jingle Bells.
At Christmas time.
I would definitely agree. So we got 8 and...
That ride, Paul, it kind of goes out of my head after a while, so it doesn't really get to me that way. So
it doesn't, but I like the song. I skip when I hear it.
Wow. And then you go, oh, and then you just fall.
Next one. This is another interesting how these are completely themed, but it's basically the same ride in a completely different themed building.
And Cargo loves candy too.
Chocolate. I love Cadbury's chocolate.
Yeah, I like chocolate too.
This is the Nemo ride. So in Disneyland, it's on the Yellow Submarines. It's called Finding Nemo Submarine Ride, and that's actually in Tomorrowland. I was surprised. I thought it was Fantasyland, but it's in Tomorrowland.
No, it's Tomorrowland.
In Florida at Epcot, it's the Living Seas with Nemo and Friends.
Those are two different rides, though.
No, it's the same thing. You go on the clamshell. Well, it's the same characters, the projections and all that. That's in the water.
Well, or Disneyland, you're in a submarine that used to be the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and then you have, Disney World where it's like the Little Mermaid and the clams, but
it's still the projection that they show on there, and it's Nemo.
But I think
it's kind of the same
different.
story.
I like the submarines, I think, better. It has a different feel to it. I just don't like the feel of being in that small space with like 20 other people in there sitting like right next to you, no personal space at all. But the sounds and everything, the music and stuff is pretty cool. The one in Epcot, I like that one also, just because it's ongoing, like the Little Mermaid or the Haunted Mansion, and then they have real fish and sea animals mixed in with the animation, from the movie.
To me, Florida Fanatics, you said Epcot is broken. Is that down right now? I didn't realize. I didn't heard that. Yes, I do believe they do. Jim, do they sing the Big Blue World song?
That's a good song. I like that song.
Mine is, I would say, is the one in Epcot, because not only when you're done with the ride, you're into the aquarium.
Carl said, nope, I will never ride that submarine. Nuh-uh. No how, no way, not ever. A bunch of exclamation marks. Way too claustrophobic for me. Yeah, I kind of get that feeling, but
if you're claustrophobic,
kind of goes away.
You are. Yeah, no, you're like,
you have a very
you're like
tight
this
staircase
on the ride, and you're looking out a little
into.
window. Yeah, it's a little scary. But I like how you go into the aquarium in Florida, and then you can see manatees. It's, to me, that's a better experience.
The twins help Robert power off his phone. They're going back and forth with taking the Wi-Fi off and them helping him power the phone off.
All right. The anglerfish doesn't work. Okay, cool.
Huh?
Florida Fanatics, they said.
What's the anglerfish?
The anglerfish that... what part is that? Is that is that the projection one, or is that the ones that is like the ones that spin around?
I don't even know what the anglerfish is.
Hey, welcome, Mickey Bunch. Thank you for showing up, guys.
Hey, guys, thank you.
All right, the next one is, which originally started in California at Disney California Adventure, is Soarin' Around the World. In Florida, it's in the Land Pavilion in Epcot. So, Greg, which one do you like better?
I would say California. Just because it's themed better. The one at the land is just inside with just a little sign. It's like in the corner with just a little sign. When we did the land tour, we actually got to, was it the land tour that we got to go
Behind
on?
the Seats tour. No, that was a different tour that we did.
We did a tour and we got to go on Soarin' without having to wait in line and stuff. So that was cool. But I think our theming is a little more elaborate.
Yeah, at Disney California Adventure, it's like you go into a hangar, like a big air hangar. So that's really cool. I like that one a lot. So I would also say the Disneyland resort version is better. So far after 10, Greg has 7 for Disneyland and 3 for Walt Disney World. I'm 5 and 5. So, I'm halfway, just in the middle. So we have 11 through 17 more to go, guys. So hang in there. We're getting towards the end of this, and we're coming up onto the hour.
I don't think they're worried about time. I think everybody's having fun. So
good. So again, you guys, we are comparing Walt Disney World versus Disneyland Resorts on the same attractions, which are in East Coast and West Coast. Since it's hard to do every single ride, we came up with 21. We're going over 17 that we feel are uniquely different. Number 11 is in Disney California Adventure. It's the Toy Story Midway Mania. And in Hollywood Studios in Florida, it's the Toy Story Mania. So which one do you like better, Greg?
I I don't think I've been on the one in Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World.
No, but I've seen in a video to know what I like better.
I like the Disneyland or California Adventures one, I think.
Really? Why would you say that?
Well, the Walt Disney World one might have better theming, but I guess I would say the same for both. Because I haven't really been. I don't think I've been on the other one, but I'm pretty sure their theming is better. And now with Toy Story Land, they've connected it with Toy Story Land, so I would say Walt Disney World.
Okay, that changes it. I would say Walt Disney World too, because they actually changed the entrance of the ride. They moved it from being on the walkway. They switched the entrance. They turned it to the other side, so it's actually in the land. Plus, I think the
can't wait
theming
to
of
go.
it.
I want to go on a Slinky ride so bad.
The theming of it inside was better than the one at Disneyland. In Disneyland, it's on now Pixar Pier, and it's down below where they take off on the Incredicoaster. So it's down in that area on it. So I would say Toy Story in Hollywood Studios. The next one is Star Wars: The Adventures Continue. At Disneyland, it's in Tomorrowland, and in Florida, it's in Hollywood Studios. So, Gregory, which one do you like better?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to look at the comments. Which one?
Star Tours.
Oh, Walt Disney World. It's way more elaborate. Why are you having that up when you have me doing this?
I'm helping out because
oh, okay.
Because you're failing mainly in a lot of.
I'm not failing anywhere. What are you talking about?
You liked Walt Disney World?
Mm-hmm.
I would agree too. I think it's the what are they? Are they that?
They're the AT-ATs.
Are they the AT-ATs? I wasn't sure if that was. And then the tall trees. I just think the theming of it. Plus, they have the stage outside of it that they do the performances on it.
Which the AT-ATs will be in the Star Wars land also. I guess inside because they're building around it, which is kind of cool, especially how big those things are.
All right. So after 12, make sure Greg he's got 7, 5. Okay, cool. All right. So we're coming down to the bigger attractions, which to me are the very exciting ones. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So they're at Disneyland and the park, and also at Magic Kingdom, and they're both in Frontierland. So Gregory, which one of the two do you like better?
For
Big Thunder Mountain.
Probably Walt Disney World. Just because there's 2 tracks. But our all-time favorite, which I think you can agree on, is the one at Disneyland Paris. That was the best by, hands down, Thunder Mountain we've ever gone on, because it has its own island, and you're in pitch black for a while because you have to get to that island. So it's really cool. But sadly, Disneyland is not the number one. It would be Paris, Walt Disney World, then Disneyland. But for what we're doing, it's Walt Disney World.
I like the theming better. Even though we love Disneyland's Big Thunder Mountain, like to ride it at night. And now when you go up one of the hills, you can actually see them doing the construction of Galaxy's Edge, because Galaxy's Edge is going into Disneyland in that area. So you can't see into the land, but you can kind of see some of the buildings that they're doing. So that's pretty exciting. But I would also agree. I would say Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So at Walt Disney World. Let's get caught up on some of these things. We have iPhone X too, and we
Thank
actually
you, more
really
sunshine,
like it.
please. We appreciate that. Please, thumbs up, likes.
Yes, thank you.
Subscribers. If anyone that you know that you think would like our channel, please get the word out.
Mother, father, sister, cousin, enemy.
Well, I did say everybody, but maybe not enemy.
I lost my train of thought. But all right, so Splash Mountain. So Splash Mountain at Disneyland is in Critter Country, which is a land unique to the Disneyland. And in Magic Kingdom, it is in Frontierland. So this is an interesting one. Greg, which one do you like better?
Probably Walt Disney World, just because you can sit side by side, so you can sit with your best friend, and you don't have to be like one, straight line in the ride. So you can sit with a family member, sit with a, friend, best friend. I just like how it's 2 seats.
I'm gonna say Disneyland.
Thank you, Cargo. We need dogs too.
Night Bombs Rocks. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
join
Bombs
us
Rocks.
next week too for the cruise one. So thank you for showing up. I like Disneyland's version. I like going through Critter Country, that whole area, but the ride, the inside of it to me is more detailed. And Disneyland, I noticed when we went on to Walt Disney World, it doesn't seem to be as full, like less decorated. So for me, I'm going to say Disneyland. So you guys, we're at number 14 of 17.
Wait, no, we're not.
Yes, we are.
We're at 15 now.
Well, yeah, but we've completed 14.
So now we're at 15.
So do you know where the totals are? Right now, we both have 7 for each park. Each park
That's
for
pretty
you,
cool.
each park for me is 7. So awesome. Thank you, RobFuz. Hey, Rob, I don't know if you were here earlier, but we
Thank you,
gave a
Rob.
shout out to your video that you did going over the New York City skyline. So those who haven't watched it that have come in a little bit later, definitely check out RobFuz's video. It doesn't have anything to do with 9/11 in a sense that it was
Before.
dealing with the events. It's before it, and it just kind of really makes you, for me, it hit me because it made me think, be appreciative of what's with you now, those around you, those are the ones that you love. So good video, Rob, and we're going to link that in the video at the end of this in our comments when we post it.
He is very proud of it.
You did a
You
good
should
job.
be.
I think your song choice, Rob, made me teary-eyed. All the way to work, I was like, so thank God it was dark. But number 15.
You're welcome.
Our number 15, ride versus ride, park versus resort. Pirates of the Caribbean. So Disneyland, it's in New Orleans Square, which is again a land which is unique to Disneyland. And in Florida, it is in Adventureland. I believe I'm pretty sure it's in Adventureland. Yes. In the Magic Kingdom. So Greg, which one do you like better? Okay, so kind of break it down. Theming. What's the difference in theming?
I would have to say Disneyland.
Okay, but compare the two between, like, what do you experience for people who've never gone? When you go to Walt Disney World, what do you
Well,
experience?
the queue is different. You kind of go down a long inside corridor with a roof and everything. Ours is all outside, and you have to go up,
You're not describing it very well.
You're not letting me. You have to go up a steep ramp type thing, and then you go inside. I don't like about the ride. I don't like that they are changed, or that they have changed all the redheads. I liked the original better. I kind of thought it was silly that they even changed it, for whatever reason.
I'm fine with it.
But I like the original. I don't know. I like classics like that. And in ours, they took out the fog thing that came down where it showed the villains from the movie, and then they just added a squid and something else, which the squid's pretty cool. So I would say, Disneyland for me.
Welcome, Uncle Joe's
And I
dog.
always like the smell of the water.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time that you've been on a live feed. So if it isn't, I'm sorry, and if not, welcome. Appreciate you guys showing up.
Oh yes, thank you. I just saw who's on. Okay, yes, welcome, Uncle Joe's dog.
I also like Disneyland. The one thing that I like about Walt Disney World, I like how you walk in and it has like the arches. It's kind of built up to more when you go in. It actually was not supposed to be in Florida. They were going to build a new ride based on it was some kind of canyon, if I remember it right, and it wasn't going to open when the park opened in 1971, and a lot of people were coming to Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom and saying, "Where's the pirate ride?" And it was at Disneyland. So that kind of changed their plans. They scrapped it and they built the Pirates of the Caribbean. It has only one, it has one hill compared to Disneyland
ours has
with
the two because of the
train tracks.
Yeah,
So,
so that's cool. I forgot all about that.
the ride, I like the way it flows because in the Disneyland version,
Ours goes by the Blue Bayou too.
yes,
They don't
the
have
start
that at
is
Walt Disney
different.
World.
Correct. I like the Disneyland's version better. But some of the things I like is the redhead. If you've ever been to Disneyland, you guys, past the ghost scene, because that's one of the first scenes with the skeleton on the ghost ship, on the right, there is a place where you'll see the redhead on a wall in the picture towards the back. She's got a pirate patch on her, and that is the redhead that you see in the scene. And it basically, you start in the past, and then as you go through the ride, it takes you to back when the pirate days, and then when they start pillaging the city. So I like the flow and storyline better of Disneyland, because when I went to Walt Disney World, it wasn't in the same story. So for that, I give it also to Disneyland, and you gave it to Disneyland.
I understand where you're coming from, more sunshine. I know what you're saying. I never really thought of it, because he was saying that I like the change of the redhead scene. The lady auction was always a bit creepy and sad. I was just used to it, so I never really thought of it that way, but after you've said that, I kind of, am thinking about it now. So, of course, I don't want to sound like I'm, not sensitive to that. Whatever.
I actually, at one time I was like, well, what are they doing? Why do they change? But you know what? I think you almost have to change with times. If you go to the park and it's the same thing over, that Disney's going to get left behind from the other parks that are doing their things. I'm actually open to them doing changes, as long as I can videotape it and have it what it used to be. I'm open. But to me, it really didn't make that much of a difference. But all right, 2 more rides to go, you guys. We have number 16, the Haunted Mansion.
One of my favorites.
Greg?
I think I always,
Yes, Sherry Seacrest, the redhead does do, we haven't seen her, but she is out there walking around in New Orleans Square.
I think I said I like the one at Walt Disney World better, only because they have things added and it's longer and it seems more fuller than the one at Disneyland. But I like Disneyland in its own way too, because it was the first, so I'm a little biased on that one, but I do like Walt Disney World's. So I'll say Walt Disney World.
The twins are getting reprimanded by Papa Wilgus, who's taking over for Robert, saying don't call the guy who pays your bills liar.
Oh, I didn't even see that they were talking. I haven't even heard from them.
Partner statue. Thanks. Good job, Rob. Hey, Rob, what do you feel about this though?
God.
Let's go Buffalo. They didn't go on Sunday, that's for sure. They went down. All right, Haunted Mansion. Oh, this is a tough one. Haunted Mansion is longer in Walt Disney World. Haunted Mansion in Disneyland, it changes to I don't know if you said this, if you did, I'm sorry. It changes to Nightmare Before Christmas, after Christmas?
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I actually...
Not Nightmare After Christmas.
Boo Buffalo.
Yeah.
Boo on Sunday. I would say Disneyland is... I like that version better. I like both of them. This is kind of a tough one. But I would say there's different rooms. The one thing in Disneyland, you guys, if you've ever been to Disneyland or you go in the scene where the ballroom is, 5, Rob, that's 5. The scene where the ballroom is, if you start towards the end of it, so what I mean, you guys, is you're in your dune buggies and you're going sideways and you see the big ballroom with them doing dancing. There's like the long table down there. As you get towards the end, look about eye level, there is a spider web on there, and what happened is someone put a bullet hole in the glass. And how they put the glass in there, they did it with the roof off of the Haunted Mansion when they originally installed it. Obviously, they can't take the roof off once the park is there and going and putting a new window in. So what they did to cover it up, there's a spider web on there. So if you look closely and you know what you're looking for, that is really cool. That's one of the things, not the reason why I like the ride, but it's one of those things when you go on the ride, you're like, oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. So
I barely see it. I will say that when it is a night before Christmas, then Disneyland is definitely my favorite. And I have heard rumors, I think it was confirmed, but I think they're going to do what they do with ours too, but for Coco. They're going to change it to Coco for a while. I don't think it's going to be permanent at Walt Disney World. Hopefully it won't be permanent. hopefully it'll be more of a seasonal thing. But that'd be a cool, change for it.
Sorry.
Rob forgot about the bullet hole. I keep forgetting about that, Rob, and when I remember, I can't find it very easily. Either they have the spider web or there's a curtain covering it. And now they do have, I keep forgetting about this, every year they do a different fresh gingerbread. It's an actual gingerbread for the night before Christmas. So you go through that area and all you smell is fresh gingerbread wafting up your nostrils. It smells so good. And it's really cool. I've seen behind the scenes videos of that where they make it and, where they're down there decorating and stuff. It's pretty cool because you kind of feel like you're a cast member for a little bit watching them. But it's something to go to if you have the chance.
We Rob, the only thing we said, actually we didn't even mention it, but the Country Bear Jamboree in Disneyland was in Critter Country, and it was replaced because it didn't have very much. People weren't seeing it. It was changed to the Winnie the Pooh. Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
But again, that section of the park is a park that doesn't have great traffic anyway, so
We
it
have to
could
go
have
to
been something like that.
have to go to Walt Disney World to see those country bears.
All right, one more question to go. The last question. This is a This is a not even a contest. Space Mountain. At Space Mountain, it is in the Disneyland and Tomorrowland, and in Magic Kingdom, it's also in Tomorrowland. So which one do you like better, Greg?
The hens are still on the Pooh ride.
They are. Yeah, there's two of them. And they did it to pay homage to the characters. There's two characters that are on the Winnie the Pooh ride.
I don't remember that.
It's when you first go into it. They're on the door.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I think I remember now. I think the one at Disneyland, and then they also do Ghost Galaxy, which is cool for Halloween. I know you don't like it because it's like, bam, like right in your face, and it's fast and you get dizzy. But
what gets me dizzy is when I'm going through in a ride and they have these projections. I'm zipping around on it and my eyes focus on it and I get motion sickness, and what it does is this to my eyes, and instantly my stomach turns and I get like a headache.
I think it's cool, like right at the end it goes bam, like right when you're going by. But I also like Walt Disney Worlds because it's just different. And then we always hear that sound, that sound, and we don't have that at Disneyland. So it's like just little sounds like that that kind of jolt your memory and everything. But I remember the one at Disneyland where they covered it up now. I don't know why, but there used to be able to see stars and the ride going by.
The ride more dark inside.
Yeah, and then that spaceship in the queue area in the front, they used to have an animatronic of one of the Star Wars characters, and I think they just covered that up with like an aluminum thing. But at Walt Disney World, they have like the astronauts and things like that. So
what was that sound again?
That Why did they tell me to make that again?
Cargo was saying that. Make him do the sound one more time. Cruising with
I do
Wills.
different sounds and voices at times, so
hey
I
guys, welcome. Cruising with Wills.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
They joined
and I
us.
just subscribed to you guys too today, so I know that we watched videos before, but I haven't subscribed to you, and I don't know why, but I did today, so thank you.
So Cruising with Wills, they are, I'm actually really happy that you guys are here. They next week, you guys, we're doing our cruise related one. This is our Disneyland version of the Disney Parks version of the shows. We're going to alternate, but the one thing I like about your channels, one, you guys are really funny, but they one of the members are in a wheelchair, and I just think it's so cool to see a channel of, cruising is for everyone, and what you guys experience and what you go through. We won't talk about the Bliss episode, which we are going on in December, not in the Haven, but it's so cool that thank you guys for coming in. And if you guys haven't checked out their channel, check them out. They are a really good channel. They make me laugh just watching them. So good content.
Yes, thank you.
Mine is. Did you say what you like better? I already know what it is.
I think I'm gonna go with Disneyland.
Okay, you better.
Oh no, you didn't. No.
Space Mountain at Disneyland is a rush. To me, in Magic Kingdom in Florida, you're in a roller coaster and you're being covered. So it's like basically a roller coaster with a top. In Disneyland, that track is small, and you go to the top and you're just basically working your way down. I mean, it's not exactly like that, but you can feel the track coming above you. You're afraid to even put your hands up in the air.
Don't ever put your hands up on that ride. That's crazy.
Yeah, and the times that it's on, they say it's actually worse experience for you to have the lights on, because you can actually see how close the bars are to you. Obviously, unless you're giant, that our cats are crying because
it sounded like a baby or something.
I think it's Scout. But that rush, and when you come off of it, you've just, especially at the end, you start zipping around there, and hands down,
Happy
Disneyland.
birthday, Cargo. We didn't know it was your birthday.
I don't think it is, because I think they always say that to each other.
Oh, well, if you do, happy birthday anyway, whenever your birthday is.
So I say Disneyland too.
I'll play that one off. Like, I don't feel stupid right now.
Well.
She says, thank you so much. There's no well about it. I'm not stupid.
All right, you guys. So we're going to do our tally of what...
She wants to see a cat.
He's a big cat. He'll be on some of the shows. We have 3 cats.
Well, 4 technically. We're trying to get the one outside. She's alone, and we're trying to get her more used to us, and then she needs to get her shots and cleaned and everything, and hopefully maybe come in. So 4 cats, that's a lot, but we keep the place clean. So
Cats are cleaner than Greg.
that is not true. I'm probably one of the cleanest people you will ever meet.
All right, guys, so here is our tally. Disneyland versus Walt Disney World, ride versus ride on the same rides. We have, both of us are the same. 17 rides that we compared, because 4 of them basically were the same. We felt Disneyland had 10 rides that were better, and Walt Disney World had 7 rides that are better. Bottom line is, though, you guys, and we went to Disneyland Paris. The best thing about going to Disney parks is experiencing the rides and how they're interpreted in each land. It's one, you're actually wrong on both, Cargo. It's Derick. So it's a British sounding way of Derick. It's Derick. Hello, Derick. That's how you pronounce it. But no matter where you go, it's cool to experience it. Like when we went, I think Greg was a little, he thought it was odd to be in French, but I took it all in and I loved it. And we're planning in 2023.
Well, not all the rides were in French.
No, not all of them. But 2023, we plan to go to Tokyo Disneyland, experience that, and I can't wait. You got it, Cargo. And then in 2022, we're planning on going back to France to experience the parks, because we really didn't feel like we were there long enough to experience everything. And then in 2026, we are planning to go to Shanghai and Hong Kong. So
I'll need
one park each.
I'll need a translator when we go back to France, because I wanted to know. I wanted to know what the Phantom Manor said, because it's all in French, and the story seemed cool, but I didn't understand it. I know it's all about the bride for the most part, but I want to know what the story is.
Cargo, please don't forget to back me. The other parks around the world. Yeah, it's so cool. And the one thing that I thought it was odd is...
Hey, Donna, how are you doing? Thank you for dropping in.
Donna Jaworski, I hope you are feeling a lot better. So welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hope you're feeling so well.
We wanted to experience France as, obviously you're not in a Disney park, you're not going to experience the culture of...
Hey, Disney Adventures, thank you.
What they do at France. But they... we wanted to try unique food, like a dessert, and we really couldn't find that much at Disneyland Paris. So we're on a hunt for it in 2022.
We do have an ear collection, Cruising with Wheels, and paw collections. I have the Tigger paws and the Stitch claws, and then a Stitch hat and a Tigger hat. We also have the 60th anniversary, I think, with the glowing ears. He also has a conductor. Oh, wow.
I forgot.
He also has a conductor hat with confetti. Woohoo!
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. I guess you can't get this in Florida, but
I also have a Mickey pirate hat also. So
someone said something. Oh, Ohana, our Disney adventures are here. Welcome, guys.
Derick has Chip and Dale on his hat thing, so
gotta love life.
it's pretty cool.
Yes, yeah, that's part. We know we're not going to be perfect. We don't care. We'll just let it all hang out.
Well, that's a little dusty. Excuse me. Speedo. That's all I gotta say.
So
No.
remember, every other week we talk about Speedo updates. Us getting in shape for Speedos.
We're really not wearing Speedos, but
We've been on for almost an hour and a half. Can you believe that?
we've been having fun.
Yes, we have.
But I
think-
noticed your battery is going down, so
I can't even see it. So one thing, Rob, what we're going to do, I know you had challenged a lot of different companies. We are
cruising with
companies,
wheels.
channels.
Oh my God.
We are going to do that challenge you said for top 10 Disney. We're actually going to film that after we get off here, and then we're going to post it this week. We were either going to do that, or we are going to post a share video from Vegas when we went to Vegas. We have so much that we have down the line, and we're trying to debate, do I get a Mac so we can add a little bit more technology to what we are doing, or do we just release what we have with the technology of what we have? It's a long term. We're in here for the long run. So it's fun for you guys to see us. Yeah, the whole idea of this was for you guys to see us grow as a channel. Again, we are editing on an iPad. We film on an iPhone X. I think what we do is good in terms of what we can do, but we're looking to upgrade. So join us with the journey of it. So we're still kind of debate of which route we're going to take. If I'm going to get a computer, it's going to be really, really fast here.
Cruising with Will says invest in a Mac.
That's what we're going to do. Yeah. Since we have everything Apple, we're going to do that, and then use the Final Cut Pro. So that's kind of a little bit. Those of you who came late, we did announce that we have a brother channel, a partner channel that we started to work with, a channel which has about the same history of us. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jim from More Sunshine, please. They started, their channel, I think, is listed at June 2017. So they're going through the same growing pains that we have. It is hard to start a new channel. So getting your name out there, getting that support. We're going live because we want to improve ourselves. We want to improve our on-screen presence. So we feel a lot more comfortable than what we did before. We're having fun, and that's the biggest thing. And we're not worried about being perfect. As you can tell, we have fun. We do things that
Please don't forget that we are on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and of course YouTube.
I Twitter quite a bit.
Oh my God. What has this show become?
I think I just need to shut up.
Anyways, on that note, we're also on Facebook. I cannot believe you said that. We have a joke with one of our friends, and so I think he's just used to the joke, and it just happened to come out. So
I don't even know what that joke is. I just did a mistake.
I mean, that's no worse than what the twins have been saying tonight, and that's pretty funny too. So I'm glad we can have a good time.
He just spit out their cocktail. Oh boy, I think that's about ready to wrap it up.
Well, drink that cocktail back up. Don't waste that alcohol. That's good alcohol there.
So next week's show, you guys, is going back to our Anchors Away. We do have another surprise on our shirts that we are going to be wearing next week. It's going to be clean fun, but another channel that we really love.
There's nothing clean about this channel right now.
Anytime you see Anchors Away in the title, that's referring to us with cruising, because we love to cruise as much as we love to cruise on a ship, as much as we like Disney parks. So bringing the families together, looking at who's in chat. There's cruise channels, and Disney channels. So our intent was to bring you guys together. That's what's going on. We love it. Thank you so much. And we've been throwing around an idea of doing a group cruise. We don't know yet. We'll see in the future. We are going on a group cruise with the Sea Cruisers in December. So that's going to be exciting. So we're going to learn the ropes from that. But next week's show is going to be, if you've never been on a Disney cruise before, it's going to be Disney cruise, first timers for our experience. We've been on 2 Disney cruises. We can speak fairly well for that. We might not know everything about it because we didn't get a chance to experience everything, but we definitely feel comfortable that we can guide you in the right direction in terms of what to expect. Now, last week when we did our first cruise one, it was comparing a Disney cruise to Disney parks. The prices were a little bit elevated, but you don't necessarily, especially when you go cruising, you don't necessarily have to spend the money that you do, that we did, especially with the veranda. We're going on a Bliss. It's going to be a lot different experience. So we're bringing you along with that as we do that. We'll let you kind of know what's been happening behind the scenes with Sea Cruisers. That was number 6 for you, Rob. And then we go into our show with what we do. Also bring in news, which might not always be new, but we like to bring it in the Disney Explorer way that only we can. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, if you see us on Facebook, either on D&G Explorers, which our names are actually on there, feel free to friend request us on that one or on our other personal Facebook, just to be more friends and talk about videos and any ideas and thoughts you might have or anything. So it's really cool to get to know everybody, and I think I've gotten to know some of you really well, and it's always fun.
That's the best thing about this. We've become friends with so many different people. It's awesome to do that. So again, the moderators, thank you guys for showing up and helping moderate. We have some cruise moderators as well as the Disney moderators. Check out their channels. Any channel that is on here, you guys have great channels. Watch everyone that's on here. I do follow you guys, so there's just so many good channels. Love the support.
Cargo wants our shirt sizes, so because we need a cargo shirt.
Greg wears an extra large.
Whatever.
Well, didn't you say you have to lose 44 pounds? But that's a topic for next week. So we
Well,
won't get into
I'm
that.
not like big or anything. I just need to tone down. I'm a large. He's a medium. I could fit into a medium, but large is fine.
So yes, and we're also gonna get a PO box this week. So hopefully we can get that. So looking forward to have this channel grow. Thank you guys for your support. Seeing these names on people that
more sunshine,
we
please.
watch, it pleases us that you can't believe. So see you guys next week. See you on your channels. See you on your videos. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. It's always fun. It's always fun with you guys. So thank you.
And just remember, as Walt Disney says,
we are just getting started. Have a good night, everybody.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
guys. Love you guys.